All right, it's the 6th of April 2023 at 4:02 p.m. and I am doing this video because I want to, before I unpack everything, just share my day. So I guess behind me you can see the food bank box. You get about 3 of them a year. All the sort of voucher places in town where you can get help with food. You're only allowed a certain amount per year. So don't know why I wanted to share that, except for I have a lot of things that I need to put my money towards. And today, not just food, because those food bank things, there's nothing fresh in them like this. So basically, the situation is I made the call because every time I've got my new job starting, I was supposed to be there yesterday and today, but I start next week. So I've got that, that thing of knowing that there's extra money coming in, which is wonderful. But the Centrelink money that comes in once a fortnight, it basically just goes to, I have to really plan it really carefully. And I plan it before I get it so that when I get it, I can be really careful where it goes. And there's certain things I have to do, like there's certain things I'm paying off each fortnight. But there's always about $150, $150 to $200 that I've got a bit of leeway with. And then I was going 10 days or so without money. But because I've got this job coming next week, I already know I've got money coming next week. So it's like, yeehaw. So, bit the bullet hard. And I made the call and I got the paint stripper. So that's just $31, that alone. But I got more paint stripper. This paint's $91. It used to be $68, now it's $91. And this is the Serena paint that does the cornices. So I don't know if you remember the story. There's the little animals. They're very, very tired. We had a very, 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 very big walk today. So basically, I don't know if you remember, this is the Serena paint that I had, that my husband and I used on our previous house in Dianella. Beautiful. We painted the walls. I painted the walls in our house in Dianella with this colour. It's a beautiful colour. And there was a little bit left over. And I started the cornices I'll show you. I started the cornices up here. You can see the difference between. So I started doing the cornices last year when I first started doing this room. And what actually was, I unfortunately didn't put the lid on properly, and it sat there for about 8 months. Yeah, because that room's been taking a long time. I thought the lid was on properly. I actually thought it was on properly, but it wasn't. And so it completely dried out. And I really want to get that library finished. And with painting, you've got to do top first and then you go down, because you always do ceilings first, then the cornices, and then the walls. So that room is so close to being finished, the library. So I thought, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm getting the Serena paint and I'm doing the cornices. Because inevitably when you do the cornices, drips come down and then you've got to redo the walls, just touch them up. So I'm really happy with that, because that was $91. And how's God for protecting me? Because when I turned up, because it used to be, I just got this thing on my chin that won't heal. It's really weird. The old Mozzie bite or something. Anyway, basically, the paint it was $68 when I last bought it. When I was at Dianella 2 years ago, this tin of paint cost me $68, and now it's $91. And I was like, whoa, because I knew paint had gone up in value, up in price, but I didn't know that much. And as I was freaking out about it, this lady turned up, and she happened to be a Christian lady, and we started talking about the inflation, and we both know it's all coming down. We know it's just the devil trying to knock everyone out and create suicide and fear and this and that, rah, rah. So we already know that the costs are going to come down. She knows that, I know that. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think the prices are going to stay as they are or go higher, but they're not. Everything's going to come back down. And then anyway, we swapped numbers, and she's just moved. She was born and grew up in Northern, and she's just moved back last week. So I thought that's really amazing. And she's just in the process of renovating her house, and so we're going to meet up for coffee and stuff, and meeting a new friend. So cool. But I also did the call. So this one here, I spoke to this lady. This is actually the mist tint section in Bunnings or any paint place. There's always a mist tint section. So this tin of paint's normally $90. And it's reduced to $45, and it's special paint for doing laundries, bathrooms, and kitchens. It's really cheap. It's really resistant. It's for cabinet doors, and you can put it on laminate. But I'm not putting it on laminate. I'm putting it on these doors here. So we're going to get the first cut. Well, I've got to sand that back, clean it 3 or 4 times, get it really thoroughly clean. And anyways, the kitchen's just going to look so good. So I made the call, everyone, and I got another one of 5. No more gaps. I need about 6 of them, but I got one. They're only $5. Got myself some more rollers. I've been reusing the same roller over and over and over again. I just threw it in the bin. It was in really bad condition. Last night when I tried to do the painting of the wall, it just did such a bad job because there's no fluffing. It's just all hard. So I made the call. And that's $14. It all adds up. So that's really exciting. And then today, I did some shopping. I got the dog some more bones and various things like that. Not too much, but I got myself some vegetables. I got myself broccoli. I'm hanging out growing vegetables. I got myself bananas because I've been living on, I'm not complaining at all, but I have been living on vouchers and hampers, and they don't give you fresh food. It's just it keeps you alive and stuff. Like they give you things like tinned soups and frozen, meals that you heat up, rice, a big bag of milk powder, like stuff that's really helpful. But I've been hanging out for green chlorophyll. So, so I'm really happy about that. I thought I'd treat myself to a juice. Haven't had juice in the house for so long. Because today's not a super hot day or anything, but when I work really hard when it's hot, wow, it's nice having that cool drink. And got myself some cleaning products. The Coles shopping. Oh, this is so exciting. It's like Christmas. And now I've obviously got very little money in my account, but I can move forward. So I've got my things that I really need, like some more gloves because I'm starting a new job. I need to use sugar soap. I treated myself to some Post-its because I've been doing a lot of studying, and these things are wonderful study tools. You write heaps of stuff down, you stick it on the page, and your notes are actually on the area of where you're studying. Otherwise, you just have pages and pages and books of miscellaneous bits of information everywhere. And with these notes, you can put them anywhere you want, and then you can collate them really nicely. I got myself some whiteout, which I really need. I'm so excited, guys. It's like I'm being abundant. It's abundance. And I know that you might, because I'm always making sure the animals have food, like like Ollie's tuna. Always making sure they've got their tuna, for goodness sakes. But I've got myself my soy milk, because I've been using cow's milk powder. And what I'm really happy about, and I know that there's other things I can do, but I've got myself some antibacterial product to try to get on top of, because I've got my male dog's got to get sterilised next week. Well, he does really weird things, like he pissed on this the other day. He pissed here, and there was piss all over the floor. It was awful. You can see that mark because I just washed the whole thing down. And I just want to be able to get a spray that I can just dominate. He's just really trying to, and I got myself some more floor cleaner because I just used some washing detergent the other day. And I got myself some washing detergent because I'd run out. So this is like really fun, guys, ladies, gentlemen, children, people. I also got myself some blue tack because I'm going to start putting really important notes on the wall. Not on the wall, but just things. I just want to put really important reminders and memos. And I'm talking about really cool godly posters. Yeah. And I also got myself some fluorescent pens for my study. Get back into study mode. So I'm really happy to show that off to you. It's like really exciting. Now I can pack it away. It's like it's been so long since I've just basically just even things like the gloves. I do the dishes without gloves on, and I'm just tired of it. Tired of not having these simple things. But I literally haven't had the money to do it because I've only just haven't even had the money to feed the animals. You know what I mean? So, doing this shopping, 81, 61, and 100. So I spent 80, 60, 80, 90, 10, about $250 today, right? It's a brave move. It's an abundant move because I know money's coming next week. When my job starts next week. Yeehaw. And the thing that I also really want to share with you all is my friend Desiree says that when we've been doing a lot of research on premenopause and how to reduce the symptoms, decaffeinated coffee, everyone. Apparently caffeine when we're premenopausal, it is so not good. The caffeine creates the aches and the pains because my friend Desiree does this sewing group, and a lot of the people in the sewing group are much, much older than me. And they all said to her when they stopped the caffeine, their aches and pains went. One of them said, and then I just thought, I wonder if this is just me making it up. And they started having their coffee again, the aches and pains came back. Well, I can tell you, I have one caffeinated coffee a day, sometimes not even in one day, but usually one a day in the morning. And the rest of any coffee I have or any tea I have is decaffeinated. And I am seriously, my aches and pains are reducing. Like, oh my gosh, it's almost like I'm not going to say I'm pain-free, but my pain levels are so reduced. It's just beautiful. It is beautiful. So I do think that using decaffeinated coffee pods and having decaf coffee when we're premenopausal is I'm definitely going to vouch for it, 100%. The wall you can see behind me, last night I did the first coat of paint, as you can see, and then today I did the touch-up of the plaster, which is what I did on the other wall, and also what I did in the library, because as I've shared with you quite a few times, unless the whole wall is plastered and you smooth it off professionally, when you paint it, you can actually see there's slight minor imperfections, which some people might tolerate and put up with in a set, but I won't and can't. I would always see them and they would always annoy me. So this is actually what it looks like. I'll show you. So I'll give you an example. So that's an imperfection that's been filled up with plaster. This is an imperfection that's been filled up with plaster. All right. You can see where the strongest white bits are. That's an imperfection that got filled up. When I wash and sand that plaster off, what happens is all the bits where there's a small imperfection, they're very subtle, okay? But you can see where it's really, really, see those white bits there? That's actually imperfections within the paintwork. And like here, you can see that imperfection there. So that gets filled up with plaster. And then when I wash this all off, most of that comes off, but the gouge gets, the plaster stays. And then when I do the next coat of paint, it's smooth. And over here, needed a lot of building up again. So, because I hadn't really leveled it out that well. So anyways, that's what I was doing last night and this morning. Now I've taken my dogs we've had a really big walk today. We had a beautiful walk today. And now I am about to put my shopping away And then I'm going to, you can see in there, filled all that up too. You can see down here, I've had to touch up and fill up all that plaster down there. This is why, guys, when you have a proper job, seriously, the prep work, really, it's 90% prep, 95% prep, 5% paint. And even then, the painting's skilled work. Like, you've got to do it well or it doesn't look good. So trust me, with plastering, painting, wall prep, if someone charges you under 50 an hour, you're going to get a shoddy job, because no one would do this work for less than 50 an hour. No one. It's actually hard work, and you've got to do it a certain way, or it's just going to be terrible end result. And you'll see it. You go to houses and you'll see little drip marks that they've just left behind, or I can see it. I can see it. I've been to so many houses, and I've even said to people, was this a professional job? And they go, yeah. So many professional painters do a bodge job. They're not professional, but they've got they just got a label on their vehicle or whatever. Anyways, I've got a few painting jobs lining up. Hey, I've got one with my client that I'm doing, not just the painting, but the decluttering and the landscaping. But I've got someone else that I might be painting her house as well. And I just realised that painting's hard work on the wrist, though. So I don't want to do lots of painting, because my wrists are already really sore. My wrists are really sore from all the sanding and painting, and I would hate to have to do it 3 or 4 days a week. I just don't think my body would handle it. But anyways, people's, abundance, hey? And I'm going to be working on, it's 4 o'clock, so I've got 2 and a bit hours, but don't have to take dogs for a walk. Look, you can see they've tucked it out. Look, see? They're tucked it out. They had a really, really, really big walk today. And they've had quite a few treats. And, all is well. Oh, yeah, and I bought them their big bag of dog food. And their dog food is so expensive. Well, it's not, like, super expensive, but it adds up. But this is their dog food. And got another bag that lasts about 2 weeks. So we're going to be okay for food for 2 weeks. Woohoo! Well, the dogs are. And me, because I'm human, people... I don't know. You can be, I'm not saying someone's going to invite me to dinner, but I'm just saying it's easy. Back to this garden here. Actually, I'll turn it around for a second. This little garden, which the dogs have sort of dug up a little bit. This maidenhair comes from my husband's mother's house, and she's had it for a really long time. My husband gave me some of it many, many, many years ago, and it's gone to 3 or 4 different houses. It went to my house in Mount Lawley, my house in Beaconsfield, then back to Mount Lawley. Then it went to Dianella. Between Beaconsfield and Mount Lawley, I was at a house in Coolbellup. Then it went to Dianella, and then it's come to Northam, and I've had a few different spots for a Northam to see if it will come happy. I've nearly lost her a few times, but this is, I pray to this as if this is my husband's mother, and her name is Agnes, and I talk to this little plant, and I'll say, you please protect your son. And anyways, when this little plant nearly died on me, I said, no, come back, I need you to stay. This is actually so old. This plant's new, but it's come from, the plant has had to regrow leaves, but the roots, it's the same roots from my husband's mother's house in Mount Lawley, and it's really old, and she's really precious to me, so I pray to her a lot. So anyone watching this YouTube, this is little Agnes Guardian, and I pray to her spirit, to look after her beautiful son, to protect her beautiful son. Yes, the garden, everyone's the garden. I've been really working hard. I've decided to keep it really simple, and because we've got rain happening. See, it was really hot before, and if I didn't water the garden, the sprinkler system wasn't working, this and this and blah, blah, blah. And if I didn't water the garden, everything would die. But we're getting rain at least once a day. We're getting rain now, and then we're getting sun. So I can just relax with the garden. And I've shown you what the dogs have done. Like, whoa, they've done so much damage. And I've just thought, well, I'll focus on the kitchen and the library and get those 2 rooms organised, and these jobs that are coming up, and then really I've got to get the fence done before I really get back into the garden. I've got to get a fence put. I've got to get the retic fixed up first. You see, so I need money to do that. I've got to dig up the old existing retic because there's a leak somewhere. So I'm going to have to dig up, and I want to wait till the soil's soft, and I'm going to dig up the soil, dig up all the old retic, pull it up completely. I mean, most of the old retic's already up, but there's still one line that's connected somewhere, and it's turned off, but for some reason it's still leaking water. I don't know how. Watercorp doesn't know how. The plumber doesn't know how. So I've got to dig it up, pull it out, and there's going to be channels there's going to be big trenches. The whole backyard's just going to be big dug up backyard, basically. It's going to be hard work. So I'm going to wait until the ground's soft before I do that. And then after I've got the retic fixed, then I'm going to create a fence, a really nice fence, and then one area is going to be blocked off from the dogs unless they're supervised, and then I'll get back into redoing this garden, making this garden absolutely stunning. So I've relinquished all of this at the moment, and gee, it's an amazing process. Seeing all this stuff, like it could do my head in. That perspectives, you know, the video I put up a couple of days ago or yesterday, whenever it was. Seriously, perspectives. Like, I'm just looking at this all and realizing, it's going to take time. And I've had some, some, not handicaps, some obstacles put in place. Like, my dogs have been a big obstacle to having a beautiful back garden. So right now I'm just not worrying about the garden, not worrying about the backyard, just completely focusing on the inside of the house. And what a relief to not have to think about everything. So I've relinquished, because we've got the rains, I don't have to worry about the watering of the garden. And so I can just focus on this painting. And you know, as I shared with you in my last YouTube, my last video that I updated, I have completely surrendered to my channel just being, it's still in fledgling mode, and it's organic, and I don't have to stress myself about trying to present it a certain way or give it a certain way. It's just as it is. It's what I share. Whoever it resonates with is who it resonates with. And there will be a time very soon when the library is actually organised and ready, and the computer's up and running, and I've got access to all my files and this and rah, rah. It's just going to be absolutely incredible. And I know it's actually not that far. That's why buying that Serena paint was such a big step, because the cornices need to be done to have that room finished before I can put the furniture back in. You see? I do actually have to fix that ceiling up. This is one of the problems, unfortunately. There will come a time. Well, I'll share with you a couple of things. Look, up there, that ceiling up here, there was 2 holes in the ceiling, so you can't see it, but there was 2 holes in the ceiling, and I had to replaster them up and sand them down, and that's been really hard work. So you can see that hole there. They had to be gyprocked and plastered up and I had to plaster up into the corners of the bearer, and that's really, really hard work. And you can see that I actually have to paint the ceiling because we changed the light as well. So I do have to paint this ceiling, and I also have to paint the ceiling, the bathroom, and I really don't like painting the ceilings. It hurts my neck. It's hard work. In the future, I have to use the flush tape and plaster ceiling in here. So, but I'm not going to worry about that for at least a year or 2 years. And then with that, what I was thinking was, yeah, the roof paint or ceiling, I can't cope with that idea right now, but I do have to do the ceilings eventually. But I just got to get the rooms organised. I've just got to get them functional. And, you know, I've been here 17 months. I just want to get the library study space sorted. I want to get the kitchen sorted. And really, all I have to do is pull with the kitchen, you do have to pull when you're doing the ceilings, you do have to try to get rid of as much furniture as you can, move it out of the way, or you can just put it in the middle of the room, cover it up, do the sides. No, that doesn't work either. When you do ceilings, it's really better if you just empty the room out. But you know what? I'm going to wait a year. I'm going to give myself a break and just handle the ceilings as they are. You know what I mean? Just for a while. It's going to be okay. Anyways, God bless my sweet 369 Thrive tribe. I really trust you're having a beautiful Thursday. Hope you have an amazing Good Friday tomorrow. Sending you an abundance of love and health and prosperity and abundance. And hope you got excited from my shopping and the fact that I've got abundance happening again in my life, and that the studies about to really kick in. And part of my metacognition is I need colour. When I read, I've got a colour code process with studying, and I also take heaps of notes. So the highlighters and the post-it notes are really imperative study note tools for me, because I've got an online course that I'm enrolled in, community services, that I need to get onto, and that's tweaking my aged care individual support training, and that will get me lots of work in Northern as well. So, lots of love, everyone. See ya. God bless.